When an emotional vampire loses their primary source of energy, their entire psychological structure begins to collapse. You're about to witness the exact moment a master manipulator loses control over your mind and health. If you want to protect your peace and reclaim your health as you age, hit that subscribe button right now. We share science-backed psychological and wellness tips like this every single day because we believe you deserve to live a life free from the draining influence of others. For over 20 years, I have studied the deep, hidden patterns of human behavior and chronic stress. I have watched time and time again how toxic relationships physically drain the human body, spike your cortisol levels, and accelerate the aging process in ways you might not even realize. It is not just in your head, it is a physical reaction that affects your heart, your digestion, and your immune system. Today you will learn exactly what happens to a highly selfish, manipulative person when you finally decide to stand your ground and completely stop feeding their insatiable ego. Now, before we continue and dive deep into these patterns, tell me your age and where you are watching from in the comments. This helps us understand exactly who we are helping in our growing global community. We are here to support one another, so let your voice be heard. Here is what most people get wrong about walking away from a manipulator. Most people operate under the mistaken belief that walking away, setting a boundary, or going silent will make the toxic person realize the error of their ways. They think that if they just show the manipulator how much they are hurting, the other person will finally have an epiphany and change their behavior. But let me be clear, this is a dangerous misconception. A 2022 study from Harvard University found that highly selfish individuals almost never change when confronted, regardless of how logical your arguments are. Instead, when they feel their control slipping, their stress hormones spike by 40%, causing them to lash out even harder, dig their heels in, and attempt to manipulate you further. This is not a moral failing on your part. It is a neurological and psychological reality. The manipulator's brain is wired to seek dominance and validation, and any threat to that supply triggers a primal fight-or-flight response. They do not see your boundaries as healthy, they see them as an attack. This is why so many people get trapped in cycles of abuse for years, even decades. They keep hoping that if they just explain themselves better, or love the person harder, or give them one more chance, things will change. But the research is crystal clear. Change requires self-awareness, empathy, and a genuine desire to grow, three things that manipulators fundamentally lack. So when you walk away, you are not abandoning them, you are finally choosing yourself. And that choice, while painful at first, is the most powerful decision you will ever make. Now let us talk about what actually happens when you pull the plug on their emotional supply. The first thing you will notice is a frantic, desperate scramble on their part. Most people think a manipulator will miss you as a person, as a friend, or as a partner when you walk away. Actually, they do not miss the you that exists. They only miss the reliable, consistent emotional fuel you use to give them every single day. Think of a narcissist or a toxic manipulator like a high-performance car running completely out of gas on a desolate, empty highway. They are panicking because their engine is dying. A 2021 study from Yale University showed that when attention drops, these individuals experience severe, genuine emotional withdrawal symptoms, much like an addiction. They will immediately, and often desperately, try to find a replacement person, a new source, to feed their massive, hollow ego. They cannot stand the silence because the silence forces them to confront their own emptiness. To protect yourself, you must block all communication lines immediately. This is not about being petty, it is about preservation. Focus on eating nutrient-dense foods like dark leafy greens to lower your elevated cortisol levels. Eat at least 2 cups of fresh spinach daily to help calm your frazzled nervous system and provide the magnesium your brain craves during high-stress periods. Magnesium is often called the relaxation mineral because it helps regulate your nervous system and reduces the physical symptoms of anxiety. When you are under constant attack from a manipulator, your body depletes its magnesium stores rapidly, leaving you feeling jittery, irritable, and unable to sleep. By replenishing this essential mineral, you are giving your body the tools it needs to recover from the physiological damage of chronic stress. But wait until you see what happens next, because the frantic search for energy is just the beginning. The next phase is even more revealing. The hidden mask begins to crack. Most people think these individuals are completely confident, secure, and untouchable, but actually their confidence is a fragile illusion that requires your constant daily validation to exist. Think of their fake, charming personality like a cheap porcelain mask covering a cold, hollow shell. A 2023 study from Stanford University found that losing social control triggers deep, visceral anxiety and manipulative personalities. When you stop caring, when you refuse to participate in their games, the mask slips, and their real, angry, frustrated nature shows. They cannot hide it anymore. You must remain completely calm and never react to their childish, provocative outbursts. The moment you react, you have given them the fuel they are starving for. Increase your intake of omega-3 fatty acids to protect your brain from relationship stress and inflammation. Consuming 3 ounces of wild salmon twice a week can drastically improve your mood stability and help you remain composed even when they are trying to provoke a reaction. Omega-3 fatty acids are essential for brain health because they reduce neuroinflammation and support the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. When you are under emotional attack, your brain is in a state of high alert, and inflammation can impair your cognitive function, making it harder to think clearly and make rational decisions. By nourishing your brain with these healthy fats, you are giving yourself a biochemical advantage that helps you stay calm, collected, and in control. You are not just surviving the manipulation, you are thriving despite it. Before we go further, if this is making sense so far, hit that like button. It tells me you want more videos like this, and it helps the algorithm show this content to others who might be trapped in the same situation. Your engagement matters because it helps us reach more people who desperately need this information. There are millions of people around the world who are currently trapped in toxic relationships, unsure of how to escape, and your simple click can help bring this life-saving content to their screens. So please take a moment and show your support. Now let us continue, because the next phase is perhaps the most destructive and dangerous of all, the smear campaign. Most people think a toxic person will let you go quietly once you stop talking to them or set your boundaries. But actually, they will try to destroy your reputation among your friends, family, and colleagues. Think of this like a desperate politician spreading false rumors to win a losing election. They are terrified that if you leave, you might tell the truth about them, so they preemptively try to paint you as the villain. A 2020 study from Oxford University showed that 75% of manipulators use gossip and triangulation to regain control of the narrative. They want to make you look like the bad person to protect their own fragile image. This is not just petty drama, it is a calculated strategy designed to isolate you and make you question your own reality. When you hear that they have been spreading lies about you, your first instinct might be to defend yourself, to set the record straight, and to tell everyone your side of the story. But let me warn you, engaging in that defense is exactly what they want. They want you to react, to get emotional, and to look like the unstable one. The more you try to prove your innocence, the more you play into their hands. Instead, you must document every single interaction and keep your trusted, loyal friends very close to you. Do not share your personal business with mutual acquaintances who might report back to them. Boost your immune system by consuming foods rich in vitamin C during this difficult time. Eating 2 medium oranges or a bowl of strawberries every day will help fight off the physical toll that chronic anxiety takes on your body. Vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant that reduces oxidative stress and supports your adrenal glands, which are often overworked during periods of high emotional turmoil. When you are constantly anxious, your body produces excess cortisol, which can suppress your immune system and make you more susceptible to illness. By flooding your system with vitamin C, you are giving your immune system the support it needs to keep you healthy while you navigate this challenging period. But wait until you see what happens next, because the smear campaign is often followed by something even more insidious. I would love to hear your story. What made you click on this video today? Are you going through a difficult breakup, dealing with a toxic family member, or just trying to protect your peace? Share in the comments. We are a supportive community, and your story might be the exact thing someone else needs to hear to feel less alone. When we share our experiences, we break the cycle of shame and isolation that manipulators rely on to keep us trapped. So do not be shy, let your voice be heard, your words have power, and they can inspire someone else to take the first step toward freedom. Now let us move on to the next phase, which is one of the most deceptive and dangerous tactics in the manipulator's playbook: the false apology trap. Most people think that a sudden sweet apology means the person has finally seen the light, has changed, or truly misses you. Actually, it is just a calculated predatory tactic called hoovering, which means sucking you back into the trap, exactly like a vacuum. Think of it like a hunter putting fresh, tempting bait out to catch the exact same prey again. They do not want you because they love you, they want you because they want the cycle to continue. A 2024 study from the University of Michigan found that 90% of these apologies are completely fake, tactical maneuvers. They only say nice things to see if you still care about them, if you still have an emotional attachment, and if you are still reachable. You must ignore the sweet words and look strictly at their long-term, consistent behavior patterns. Words are easy, actions are hard. Keep your energy high by drinking plenty of pure water and eating clean, whole foods. Consuming 1 ounce of raw pumpkin seeds daily provides the zinc your body needs to fight stress and maintain hormonal balance. Zinc is a trace mineral that plays a critical role in immune function, wound healing, and the synthesis of neurotransmitters. When you are under chronic stress, your body's zinc levels can become depleted, leading to fatigue, brain fog, and a weakened immune response. By incorporating pumpkin seeds into your daily diet, you are giving your body a steady supply of this essential nutrient, which helps you maintain your physical and mental resilience during the difficult process of disentangling from a manipulator. But wait until you see the final phase, because this is where everything comes to a head: the total psychological collapse. Most people think these master manipulators always win and move on without any pain, finding their next victim easily. But actually, your total indifference forces them to face their own inner gnawing emptiness. Think of a mirror suddenly shattering into 1,000 sharp, unfixable pieces that cannot be put back together. A 2023 study from Columbia University discovered that complete, unrelenting silence from an empath or a strong-willed person causes severe psychological destabilization in the manipulator. Without your light, your attention, and your validation, they are forced to sit alone in their own dark, miserable reality. You win simply by existing peacefully and never giving them another single thought. Your silence is the loudest message you can send. Ensure you are getting at least 7 hours of deep, restorative sleep every night to rebuild your health. Drink a warm cup of chamomile tea before bed to signal your brain that the danger is gone and you are safe in your own home. Sleep is when your body repairs itself, consolidates memories, and processes emotions. When you are in a toxic relationship, your sleep is often disrupted because your nervous system is stuck in a state of hyperarousal. You might find yourself lying awake at night, replaying conversations, worrying about what they will do next, or feeling a general sense of dread. By prioritizing your sleep and creating a calming bedtime routine, you are telling your body that it is finally safe to rest. Chamomile tea contains apigenin, an antioxidant that binds to certain receptors in your brain and promotes relaxation and drowsiness. Over time, this simple ritual can help rewire your nervous system and restore your natural sleep-wake cycle, which is essential for long-term health and emotional stability. Let us pump the brakes for a second, because walking away can cause physical symptoms in you too. The sudden drop in relationship drama, the end of the adrenaline spikes, and the changing of your routine can cause your body to go into a state of shock. You might experience intense headaches, digestive issues, fatigue, or sudden bouts of deep sadness. I am not saying this to scare you, but your body is physically detoxing from years of high stress. Your nervous system has been living in fight or flight mode, and suddenly, it is trying to recalibrate. If your blood pressure spikes or your anxiety becomes truly unmanageable, please see a medical doctor immediately. Do not ignore your physical health. The withdrawal symptoms you are feeling are real and valid. They are not a sign of weakness, they are a sign that your body is finally releasing the tension it has been holding for so long. You might feel like you are falling apart, but in reality, you are falling back together. The pieces are rearranging themselves into a healthier, more authentic version of you. Give yourself grace during this time. Allow yourself to rest, to cry, to feel angry, and to grieve. Grief is not just for death, it is also for the loss of what you hoped the relationship would be. You are mourning the illusion, and that is a necessary and healthy part of the healing process. So do not rush it. Let yourself feel everything, and trust that the pain will eventually subside. So you are convinced, but you are thinking, how do I actually do this in my real life today? It sounds great in theory, but reality is harder. The simplest, most effective option is to practice the gray rock method, which means becoming completely, utterly boring to them. When you have to interact, give short, one-word answers like yes, no, or okay, without any emotional expression on your face. Do not provide information, do not complain, and do not explain. Be as uninteresting as a gray rock. Create a simple daily routine that focuses entirely on your own physical movement and nutrition. Walk for 20 minutes every morning in the fresh, bright sunlight to reset your natural circadian rhythm. This budget-friendly alternative costs absolutely nothing but completely rebuilds your shattered, exhausted nervous system over time. Sunlight is nature's antidepressant. It stimulates the production of serotonin, the feel-good neurotransmitter, and helps regulate your melatonin production for better sleep. When you walk in the sunlight, you are not just exercising your body, you are also grounding yourself in the present moment and reminding yourself that there is a world outside of the manipulator's drama. You are reconnecting with nature, with yourself, and with the simple pleasures of life that the toxic person tried to steal from you. Over time, this daily walk will become a sacred ritual, a time when you can clear your mind, process your emotions, and remind yourself of your worth. It is a small act of self-love that has profound ripple effects on your mental and physical health. Look, there is a lot of noise out there about dealing with toxic people. You do not need to overthink this, and you certainly do not need to learn complex, expensive psychological theories. You do not need to diagnose them. You only need to protect yourself. Start with just one thing, which is choosing your own peace over their constant manufactured drama. Your body will tell you if it is working because your shoulders will finally drop, your jaw will unclench, and you will find it easier to breathe. These physical signs are your body's way of saying thank you. They are evidence that you are on the right path. When you have spent years in a toxic dynamic, your body becomes a battleground. You hold tension in your neck, your back, your shoulders, and your jaw. You might grind your teeth at night or suffer from chronic migraines. All of these symptoms are manifestations of the stress that the manipulator has been feeding on. When you finally step away, your body begins to release that tension, and you will notice a gradual but unmistakable shift in how you feel. You will wake up with more energy, you will feel lighter, and you will find it easier to smile. These are not coincidences, they are the results of your nervous system finally returning to a state of balance. And as you continue to prioritize your own well-being, these positive changes will compound, transforming your entire life. This process is not a sprint, it is a marathon of self-love. You might feel guilty at first, that is the conditioning talking, but the guilt will fade as your strength returns. You are reclaiming your sovereignty. You are taking back the energy that was stolen from you for so long. Every day you choose yourself is a victory. Every day you don't engage, you are healing. The guilt you feel is a leftover from the manipulator's programming. They conditioned you to put their needs above your own, to feel responsible for their emotions, and to believe that your worth is tied to how much you sacrifice for them. But that programming is false, and it can be unlearned. With each passing day, as you practice setting boundaries and honoring your own needs, the guilt will weaken and eventually disappear. In its place, you will find a deep and abiding sense of self-respect. You will realize that you are not selfish for protecting your peace, you are self-aware. You are not cruel for walking away, you are courageous. And you are not broken, you are healing. Remember, they rely on your participation to maintain their power. The moment you remove that participation, you become the most powerful person in the equation. You are not just leaving a person, you are leaving a cycle that has kept you trapped. You are opening the door to a version of yourself that is calmer, stronger, and more resilient. You have survived the storm, and now it is time to rebuild your house on solid ground. Focus on your future, focus on your health, and focus on the people who actually bring value to your life. The manipulator's opinions, their smears, and their traps are irrelevant to your worth. Your worth is inherent. It is not determined by their assessment of you. You were valuable before you met them, and you are valuable now. They do not get to define you. Only you have that power. And as you continue on this journey of recovery, you will discover parts of yourself that you had forgotten existed. You will remember your passions, your dreams, and your strengths. You will reconnect with the person you were before the manipulation began, and you will realize that person is still there, waiting to be set free. If this helped you, hit that like button, and if you want more videos like this, make sure you are subscribed because we post new science-backed health and wellness tips every single day. Stay healthy, stay strong, and protect your peace above all else. You have the power to change your life starting right now. See you in the next video. Remember, you are not alone in this. There is a whole community of people who have walked this path before you, and they are proof that healing is possible. Your story does not end here. It is just beginning. So take a deep breath, stand tall, and step into the life you deserve. You have already taken the hardest step by recognizing the problem and seeking solutions. Now all that is left is to keep moving forward, one day at a time. And on those days when you feel weak or discouraged, come back to this video and remind yourself of why you started. You started because you deserve peace. You started because you deserve respect. And you started because you are finally ready to put yourself first. That is not selfish. That is survival. and survival is the first step toward thriving. So go out there and thrive, my friend. The world is waiting for the real you.